Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Becoming Cleo. I'm so excited that you're here. Today we're going to be talking about this book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. Now, whether you identify as an artist, as a creative person, or someone who wants to tap back into their creativity, keep watching because this video is for you. So let's get right into it. So let's get into the book. This is called The Artist's Way and it's by Julia Cameron. And it's for the person that wants to tap back into their creativity or the person that wants to find and discover their creativity. So this book is like a 12-week program that is designed to help you to get back into that creative spirit, get back into those creative things that you like to do. Julia Cameron describes this book as a course in discovering and rediscovering your creative self. I think one of the best things about this book is that it has very practical tips and tools that you can use for the purposes of unlocking your creativity. Not just the book that you're going to sit down and read and now you're like this super creative person, but it does have actual tips and affirmations and tools and weekly prompts and daily prompts that you're going to be doing that's going to help you to unlock your creativity. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about what's inside the book and the different type of exercises that you're going to be doing if you do decide to purchase and read this book. One of the first tools that Julia Cameron mentions in this book is something called morning pages. If you've ever journaled before, then you might have already done something similar to morning pages, but essentially the goal is to wake up every morning, set aside a set time for you to actually sit down and write 3 pages for your morning pages. Julia even recommends just writing anyway, even if you don't have anything to write about. So just writing whatever comes to mind, writing about how you don't have anything to write about. But the goal is to just get you in the habit of writing 3 pages every single morning. She even encourages you to not go back and read these morning pages and also not to share or read them aloud to anyone else. So really this is just a practice for you to start doing every single day. But the morning pages, at least for me, even though I've read this book off and on, it's something that I stuck with almost every morning where I just sit down and I write whatever comes to mind. I try not to think about it too much. Whatever that thought is that pops into my mind, I essentially just write that for my 3 pages. So the first tool that's mentioned in this book is a concept called the morning pages. So the artist date is the second tool mentioned in this book. Is when you take yourself out on a weekly basis, you go out and you do something fun, you go out and you do something creative. It can be low cost, high cost, whatever that looks like to you. She really leaves it up to you into what resources you have available. It really just depends on how much you want to spend on the date, what you want to do. If you want to spend $5, if you want to spend $10 on this date, if you want it to be free $99. It's really up to you. The goal is just to go out, to be creative, and to have fun. Some examples that I'm doing for my artist date is I'm going to go painting in my patio, or I might go to a park and paint. I also want to take a pottery class. I also want to color in my coloring book. So those are some of the artist dates that I plan on doing, and really whatever the artist date looks like for you, that's what you're going to do. The third tool that she mentions are really just going to be some journal prompts. So she has a lot of different prompts each week for you to answer these questions, to provide you with insight for yourself, to have you have a reflective moment. And the prompt is going to depend on what exactly the theme or the topic of the week is. So for one of the example prompts that she has in week 1 is something called imaginary lives. She asks you, if you had 5 lives, what exactly would these 5 lives look like, and what exactly would you be doing? I really love this question because it allowed me to really think and reflect back to okay, if I wasn't doing this with my life, what else would I be doing with my life? Some of the things that I've written down in the past were if I wasn't doing content creation or building a personal brand, then I would be a painter, or I would be a photographer, or I would be a writer. So it was really cool to see what I would do in these different 5 lives, because it's these are things that I still love and things that I enjoy and things that I could actually still do till this day. Another prompt that she has, for example, for week 1 is to write down your Hall of Fame horror stories. And that's going to be essentially all these different times that your creativity took a hit, whether that's someone giving you a negative comment about something that you did creatively, whether that's someone not believing in you creatively, but it's essentially all of the different artists hurt that you can think of, to write that down and to release that and kind of just put it out there, because it's going to help you to put together the pieces as to why you may feel you're blocked creatively. So that's essentially the layout and the setup of the book. You're always going to do morning pages every single day. You're always going to have an artist date once a week, and you're always going to have journal prompts or reflective questions to ask yourself throughout the entire 12 weeks of this book. I have actually never made it through all 12 weeks of this book. I've only made it to like week 8, I think. I always fall off, and this year, this time around, I'm really trying not to. I think one of the things that's going to help me with this is I'm talking to you guys about it. So this is going to be accountability purposes. If you see that I never talk about the Artist Week again besides watching this video, call me out. Let me know in the comments like, girl, what about the Artist Way? Because if I never talk about it again, then that kind of just means that I probably am not reading the book. So one, this video is to hold me accountable because I do intend to tell y'all more about my journey with the Artist Way. And two, because I'm in a book club, and so I'm hoping that the accountability with being in this book club is really going to help me to like stay on track and actually complete the 12 weeks at a time. So to give you guys an example about some of the chapters and the overview of each chapter, I'm just going to read a few of the different titles for each week, and you're going to kind of get an idea about like what the chapter and what the book is about. So week 1 is called Recovering a Sense of Safety. Week 2 is called Recovering a Sense of Identity. Week 3 is called Recovering a Sense of Power. Week 4 is called Recovering a Sense of Integrity. Week 5 is called Recovering a Sense of Possibility. And week 6 is called Recovering a Sense of Abundance. If you can't tell by now what the theme of the book is, you're going to be recovering all of these different things that you might have lost or things that might be hidden for you as an artist. So it's really about just recovering, rediscovering your purpose and creativity and rediscovering your creative self. So one of the things that Julia Cameron talks about, especially in week 1, is called, of rediscovering a sense of safety. And I feel like I resonate with this and I've experienced this. I know other people who have read this book also experienced this. And it's something that I call artist hurt. So if you're thinking about reading this book and you resonate with what I'm about to read for you guys, then I definitely think you should check it out. But this is what Julia Cameron says. As a young artist, we need and we want to be acknowledged for our attempts and efforts, as well as for our achievements and triumphs. Unfortunately, many artists never receive this critical early encouragement. As a result, they may not know they are artists at all. This part of the book right here, I feel like it just sums up, like if you resonated with that one section right there, then I highly encourage you to read this book, because sometimes it's even as like you don't even identify as an artist because you have so much artist and creative hurt from a young age that you were not able to see that your creative talents and all of your like creative passions now as an adult. I'll read the next section because it really does like tie it all together. Parents seldom respond, try it and see what happens, to artistic urges issuing from their offspring. They offer cautionary advice where support might be more to the point. Timid young artists, adding parental fears to their own, often give up their sunny dreams of artistic careers, settling into the twilight world of could-have-beens and regrets. There, caught between a dream of action and the fear of failure, shadow artists are born. So if you resonate with that part of the book like I do, then I highly, highly encourage and recommend you to read this book, because one, it will get you all together, and spoiler alert, it might just change your life, okay? And now I'm going to share with you guys a little bit about why I've decided to restart and to read The Artist Way in general. So I'm somebody who I feel like I'm very creative. I really do have a lot of different creative passions, a lot of different creative talents, but I feel like along the way in life, some of those things weren't nurtured, some of those things weren't encouraged. I've also experienced some artist hurt as well. A lot of my creativity has been blocked, and I feel like I haven't necessarily been accessing as much creativity as I could. Sometimes I feel like when I was younger, I was a lot more creative. One, because I just had the freedom to do so, you know, not as much responsibility as I have now that I'm an adult. But two, I just feel like I might have just been more in tune with my creativity. Growing up, when I was around 15 or 16, I'm not sure if I've shared this story before, but I used to write fan fiction on Tumblr. I'm not going to tell y'all my actual fan fiction pages because they're still up and they're embarrassing, but I used to write fan fiction, and I remember for one of the stories that I wrote, I literally had like 75 chapters of my very first fan fiction, and then my sequel, because I used to do like, you know, sequels and whatnot. The second version or the sequel of that had like 60 something chapters. The fact that I could sit up here and come up with over 100 chapters off the dome, just off of my creativity and expressing myself, that's not something that I've done since then. And I just feel like, I don't know if it's like I have this blockage inside or if it was just I had more free time, but that's kind of like something that I want to tap back into. Like I want to tap back into the fact that I used to really write a lot of fiction. So another fan fiction story is that after I finished the sequel for my very first fan fiction, I wanted to start another one because it was so popular. I had gotten a lot of feedback and people were asking me to write more. I remember that for this second fan fiction story that I started, I literally got the idea in a dream. Like I remember I was sleeping. I woke up around like 1 to 3 a.m. in the morning and I just started typing and writing away on my computer. I don't know what happened in my dream or where the idea came from, but I literally just got it in the middle of the night and I started writing. And that creativity is like something that I miss. Like I miss being able to just have things pop up in my mind and have things come to me with ease and be able to write them. I feel like now and I have to like really sit down, think about what I want to write, find the time to write, and then actually like think about writing. And so that's one of the reasons that I'm doing this book, is because I really do enjoy writing, but I feel like it's not something that I do often, and it's not quite something that I do as much as I want to do. Eventually, I don't know if I've shared this with you guys before either, but I do want to have a book, a poetry book, a fiction book. I would love to write a book and get it adapted into a movie one day. And I also want to just be like a writer, like an author. And so because that's one of my goals and that's one of the ways that I'm trying to brand myself and figure that part out, I really just want to be able to tap back into the writing realm and just like, you know, get that love for writing back again and rediscover myself as a writer and as a creative artist. Another reason that I'm deciding to do this book is because I know that I'm a very, very creative person, but I have an issue with calling myself an artist. And I feel like sometimes if I say like, oh, I'm an artist, it just feels like imposter syndrome, you know? It feels like I'm not an artist. Like it feels like I'm kind of just saying it, but I'm playing in the face of actual artists. And even just the way I even said that right there, that's another reason I want to do this book, is because I am an artist. I'm a creative artist. I just feel like I'm so uncomfortable with saying it and so uncomfortable identifying as an artist that I really just need to get to the root of like that artist hurt and trying to figure out like why I feel this way and how I can get to the point where I actually feel more confident in calling myself an artist and for actually branding myself as a creative artist. It's like so many reasons as to why I'm even doing this book, but just to share with you guys one more reason, I have a lot of other things that I want to do with my life, and a lot of other creative hobbies, creative passions that I want to pursue eventually. One of the ones being photography. I want to get into jewelry making. I want to get back into painting. There are all these different things that I want to do that I feel like I don't do. And I know that the Artist Way is going to be a really good tool. It's going to help me to get back into the rhythm of being creative, being playful, and really just having fun with it and not making it like such a serious thing. So I'm super excited to start the Artist Way. Today is literally my artist date, and I'm so excited because that means it's my first date of the Artist Way week 1. And I wanted to kind of like film and show you guys the process and show you guys exactly what I'm doing for my artist date. So I'm doing it at home, one, because I'm still with my dog and it's cold outside. So this is going to be my artist date. And today I'm going to be painting, right? I have my canvas right here. I also have this bag of paint with all of these different colors, right? The thing about this is that I actually don't have any brushes. Like, I had the idea to paint for my artist day. I didn't even check to see if I had brushes. I just assumed that I had them because why wouldn't I have them? So I decided that I'm going to get a little bit creative today and kind of like paint with what I have and make do with what I got. And I feel like that's one of the best ways to be creative, is when you're kind of just like working on the fly, using what you have and being resourceful. So I found some alternatives to paint brushes, and that's what I'm going to show you guys. So the first one is this beauty blender. I don't typically use this beauty blender. I've only used it once ever. So I thought that this could be a really good like paintbrush kind of situation. So I'm going to use this as the first thing I'm going to paint with. And I also found this tan bark right here. I found it outside of my apartment complex and I was just like, we're going to use this too. I feel like it's going to be like really cool like texture. I also found this piece of, I think it's a succulent. It's a piece that broke off of a plant that I found outside of my complex. And yeah, I'm really just going to be using the different things that I find in the house that are going to make good like paintbrushes. And the goal for this is really just to have like a free flow state of painting. So I actually don't have any expectations for what this painting should look like. My goal is really to just have fun, to go with the flow, and just to allow like whatever creativity comes out, and to allow the painting to look however it's going to look. Decided that for the palette, because I don't have a little palette thing, I found these pieces of cardboard. So I'm just going to be using these to paint. But either way, y'all, I think this is still about to be a good paint session. Probably one of my best paint sessions. I'm not going to sketch. I'm not going to draw. I'm just going to like go to the colors that I'm drawn with and use what I have to create something beautiful for my artist date. So let's get into it. Okay guys, so I don't know exactly what it is that I made, but I do really like it. I think I'm gonna call it like, I don't know, for some reason the words that come to mind for this particular painting is aura, galaxy, glimpses of hope, and growth. So I don't know like exactly the title. I was gonna call it auras, but then I feel like it turned into like more than that once I started adding like the little spags and once I added on the flower in the middle. But I feel like those are kind of like the words that I was drawn to. And I guess that's what this painting is going to represent. So I'll show you guys like exactly what it looks like so you can really see it. So this is it. I started off with this pink here and I wanted some yellow, but then I saw that it made a pretty like orange, like a nice transition. So I was like, ooh, I think I'm gonna do that, because I was really drawn to the pink at first, but I like the way that this turned out. And then I added purple, and it's two different shades of purple because I just felt like it needed to be. And then in the flower, the middle is succulents that I taped onto the actual canvas because I don't have any hot glue, and also the glue stick didn't work. So I personally think it should go this way, or maybe even, no, I think it should go this way. Yeah. Ooh, I really like it. I think I actually want to hang it up. I don't know. It just, when I look at it, it makes me feel like dreamy, like very positive, very like vibrant, very fun, very just relaxed. And I really do appreciate that about that. And the colors are just so beautiful to me. These are the colors that spoke to me. So I'm super happy that I went with these. So yeah, guys, that is going to be my first artist date. I didn't get to record myself doing the morning pages how I want, but if you guys want to see me and how I do my morning pages, I think I'm actually going to document this journey on TikTok. So follow me over there as well for more Artist Way content. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my channel. I really do hope that you enjoyed this video. Be sure to connect with me across all socials at Becoming Cleo. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video.